two for the show. So buckle up, there's no telling where we're gonna go. A glory and fame, a silver and gold. So call us outlaws and leave the fortune for the bold. No more hesitating, we're legends in the making. Gravity escaping, light speed breaking. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. Oh yeah. A 5-4, a 3-2-1. We're gonna fly. We're headed straight for the sun. 5-4, a 3-2-1. We're gonna fly straight for the sun. No more hesitating. We're legends in the making. Gravity escaping, light speed breaking. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. Let's get elevated. It's explosive. I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on a battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shade. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weed's getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weed's getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat on my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive. You can't control this, it's 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 explosive.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at CLICKIT RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Looking to the inside of Turner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway, nearly does.
Last night the track was very slick. You know, we had 2 good grooves.
Anyway, just another some of that.
There's people in the stands. That means there's people watching.
It all comes down to this. We welcome you to the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV and the Season 10 Championship Race. Coverage live on iRacing on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network. The season has come to an end, at least for this final race. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Wesley Outland. Jason Rockefeller is alongside. We are ready to bring you flag-to-flag coverage of 250 miles, 125 laps for the final race of the season. For 4 drivers, actually counting 3, Jason, if you want to be honest, because sadly Dennis Moore is hunting right now. He's not available to race for the championship finale, but a big drive for him, big kudos for him along the way to make it to the end of the road. However, committed already to this weekend's for a hunting trip. He could not be here. Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Devin West, Team LSRTV versus Win Racing, Jason. And this has been this way all year long. Would you have it any other way to determine a champion? Good evening, my friend.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this for sure. And obviously, you know, I hope Dennis is obviously having a great time. You know, I know what it's like to not be able to do things that you're meant to do. But, you know, he, just like last year, Charles and I were talking about it during pre-roll. You know, he does this trip every year. So, I mean, it was kind of guaranteed it was going to happen one way or the other. Just so happens to fall on this week for him. But, Dennis, if you're watching, listening, whatever, hope you're having a good time, man. Wish you were here with us. But I know, obviously, being in the outdoors is something that a lot of people enjoy. But, hey, we still got 3 guys who could come out here and contend for a title here tonight. And they've all been 3 drivers who have been right there in the mix all season long. It's going to be a fun one for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
It has. It's been a great battle, and honestly, for guys like Kevin Smith, Ryan Bloom, and Devin West, you have the talent of the best here going at it for the trucks. You're going to see the same thing on Wednesday night, and it just gets to me how crazy this year has flew by. It's flew by. It seemed like it just started, and now we're ready tonight to crown who will be the champion. And here's another thing to think about, Jason, and I say this humbly. You don't have to be the winner of this race tonight. All you've got to do is be the first man of those 3 drivers, counting Dennis Moore to be eliminated because he's not here. He'll finish 4th. But if you're one of those drivers, you just want to finish ahead of those other 2 that you're competing with, You want to win if you got a chance to, but if not, you just got to win the war. And that's literally what we're doing right now as we go down to on-track activity. We'll show you the point standings leading up to this race. Again, as we mentioned, everybody right back to square one. However, Jason, you know Dennis Moore's not here, so 3 drivers, 5,000 points. It doesn't really matter about points, am I right, Jason? It's just a matter of where you finish on the racetrack when the checkered flag falls tonight.
Absolutely, Wesley, for sure. No doubt about it. Points are completely thrown out the window. All that matters is if you're Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, or Devin West, you're finishing ahead of those other 2 drivers. And obviously, like we said again, Dennis Moore not in attendance tonight, so that makes it only 3 drivers competing for the Northwest Truck Series title here tonight in 2023. And boy, oh boy, Wesley, it's going to get good. Auto Club Speedway at night, tons of grip, but this track has characteristics that translate from the day into the night. Yep. It doesn't matter. This track is one of the most abrasive surfaces on the NASCAR schedule. And obviously now, we're not going back to California until what so-called is the short track plan that's at least happening as far as we're all concerned. Comes back and, you know, they're going to repave this place, reconfigure it. It's no longer going to be a 2-mile D-shaped oval, but thankfully for iRacing, we have the opportunity to come out here and drive on this track that we've all grown up, known, and loved.
And I'll be honest with you, I thought that the NASCAR Cup Series, what was the final race ever on the 2-mile track back in February at the Auto Club Speedway where Kyle Busch picked up the win, was phenomenal. Probably the best race I think I've seen there in over a decade. You've got precision banking. You've got the opportunity for 2, 3, 4 wide, just like at Talladega, Daytona on a super speedway, if you will, Jason. But also there's just so much strategy that goes into this racetrack. What an awesome decision by the powers that be in the Northwest Racing Series to make this track be the place where the championship, to make this place be where the championship finale would be tonight here at the Auto Club Speedway. I mean, this track is going to be highly entertaining, no doubt, whenever we literally drop the green flag for these trucks tonight.
Yeah, I've had myself a couple wins here at Auto Club, whether it be in the old Gen 6 Cup car or the Truck Series. I've also had some wins here with obviously some leagues, and I tell you what, this is one of my favorite tracks to race on with the truck because you can run from the bottom to the middle to the top. There is basically 5 lanes you can run here, Wesley. I talked about this I believe recently. You know, you can run the top, you can run the middle.
Championship race for the Northwest Bridge on the Community Radio Network as well as LSRTV. We're having some technical difficulties, but I think we should be back up and running okay now. I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller alongside, and the race rolls on as qualifying is just about to expire. The field should be getting gridded here. And Jason, obviously, before we had the issues right there at the qualifying session, right now it looks like we're going to see the opportunity continue for Dan West Jr., obviously the man that's on the outside of the chance of winning the championship. He's the fastest guy on the racetrack right now in qualifying.
Yeah, and that would be a great thing for him. Obviously, remember, not in the championship right now, but, I mean, Dan West Jr. has been so stout all season long, whether it be in the Truck Series, whether it be in the Xfinity Series, it's the Fixed Setup Series on Wednesdays. Dan West Jr. has been the man of the second half of the season so far.
Yeah, certainly has, and obviously we'll see where he ends up. By the way, if you remember last week at Las Vegas, remember, Jason, I know you weren't here, but last week he literally was tied with his son, Devin West, and by virtue of more top 5 finishes than Dad, that gave Devin West the opportunity to run for a championship. By the way, would you have it any other way? Ryan Bloom, Devin West, Kevin Smith, right there for the championship, behind Dan West Jr. in the top 5. Wow.
Yeah, and that's the great thing here as we look at the Hunt the Front TV race information. 1 fast spare tonight, 100% fuel load, 3 sets of tires, and boy, oh boy, you are going to need every set here tonight. 3 attempts at a green-white checkered if need be, and obviously 125 laps here on this 2-mile D-shaped configuration. And Wesley, obviously, these guys are going to be talking about tires tonight. And if you're one of those drivers in this championship hunt tonight, you're obviously going to be concerned about your tires for a majority of this 125-lap race for sure.
Just watching Dan West Jr., the Shelton Washington 55, storm by the start-finish line. He's just getting a couple extra laps, if you will. The field is set. The field is set, by the way, for 250 miles, 125 laps. And by the way, thanks again to Hunt the Front TV for the race information. Here is the weather conditions presented by Kaufman Creative as you watch Dan West Jr. storm it down the backstretch going into turn number 3 in preparation for this race. Air temp, track temp, exactly in unison. Air wind speed 7 miles an hour. Dropping, partly cloudy skies. It is going to be under the lights. It's already under the lights. Jason, this will be a fun race for sure as we're less than 2 minutes from introducing the lineup for the finale of the year.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that the air temp is the same as the track temp tonight, Wes is going to provide these guys with a whole lot of grip, obviously. The wind speed will kind of concern me a little bit, especially if it's tailwind down this back straightaway here. I mean, usually you kind of see a steady 2 to 4 miles an hour, but this thing keeps fluctuating between about 10 to 15 miles an hour. We very well could see the wind obviously play a factor with these guys drafting, whether it be down the front straightaway, whether it be kind of some aero push in the corners, down the back straightaway, creating a lot more drag, could create for a lot more suck up on these trucks down the back straightaway when these guys are in clean air and having somebody behind them able to draft up a lot quicker if having that tailwind.
Yeah, right now just kind of taking advantage of some extra laps if you choose to. 39.580 the pole speed for Dan West Jr. And again, just continuing to knock off practice laps to prepare for this race. Again, close to 20 drivers ready to battle it out. And of course, this is the finale of the year for the Northwest Truck Series Season 10. Big thanks to CLICKIT RV for being the title sponsor. And of course, remember, Wednesday night, Jason and myself will be right here with you for the championship race as well. The playoffs championship race finale at Auto Club for the Northwest CLICKIT RV Fixed Series under the same format, no doubt about it. Ready for the clock to tick down, ready to introduce the starting lineup for the championship round. It all comes down to this. These 4 drivers minus Dennis Moore of Ryan Bloom, Devin West, and Kevin Smith battle for the championship within the race, and we're ready to go at Auto Club. Starting lineup, Dan West Jr. is on the pole. To the outside, Ryan Bloom, one of the championship contenders, winning last week at Las Vegas to put himself into the finale. Row number 2, Devin West in the number 5, and Kevin Smith right there alongside. Row 3, Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabnow. Row number 4, he's got to find Frank Harris in the 11, Carl Burke in car number 53, and Jason, your top 10 for row number 5. John Odenbacher, and a name we ain't seen in a while, Robert Gamble in the 54.
Yeah, row number 6, you got Roy Grande, also another name we haven't really seen quite some time. Stephen Bartlett in the number 39 there. Row number 7, you'll have Stephen Paulson in the 58. Chris Kynes as well in the number 20 machine. Row number 8, Toby Ritters. Clifford starting deep in the field tonight. We'll see what he can do. And Gary Nichols in the number 8 machine. Row number 9 goes to Joshua Cushman and BJ Tidrick in the 72 machine. And rounding out the field in row number 10, all by his lonesome self there in the 91. Last but not least, Scott Hutchinson.
19 drivers ready to go at it for championship night here at the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. 2 mile distance. The track 2 miles. The field right behind the safety car. Ready to bring them onto the pit lane. Onto the racetrack off of pit road is what I meant to say in just a moment. And of course, how fitting, Jason, to have those 4 spots with the top 5 in the points. Dan West Jr. just making it out by virtue of being 2 top 5 finishes better by his son than him to lock him into the race. And obviously, all these drivers up on the front in qualifying I got a feeling we're probably going to see the same thing likely during the race as well.
Yeah, more than likely. I think that the guys you saw up at the front in practice and qualifying, like we're about to see, are probably going to be the guys that will stay up at this front. It's going to be interesting how Dan West Jr., though, is going to play a factor, Wesley, because we have said these last few weeks that more than likely DWJ was going to make it in. But guess what? Devin having one more top 5 than his old man really made that difference. And that's why Dan West Jr. isn't making this championship board. He's just racing out here tonight. But hey, he's the fastest truck right now out of these guys, whether it be practice or qualifying. DWJ very well could play a big factor for these 3 guys battling for this championship here tonight.
Came down to the protocol of who had the most top 5s. Dan West Jr. had 15. Devin West had 17. They were tied at the end of the battle last Monday night at Vegas, and that's the reason why. And of course, for a guy like Dennis Moore, number 2 seed, not even here. As I mentioned, foregone to a committed hunting trip. We're ready to determine a champion, a winner. 250 miles. Auto Club, the end of the road of season 10 starts right now. Green is out in California. Coming to the line, green flag in the air, 1 lap in. 250 miles, 125 the distance, overtime if need be, as Jason mentioned. And there you see it right there, these 3 drivers in blue. Someone's going to get the green. They're going to get the champion at the end of the night here, Jason, as they work the back stretch.
Yeah, down the back straightaway right now. Father, son, 1, 2, and Devin trying to look for a way possibly around his father, but being in the draft is also your best friend. But also, if you're that race leader, you're in a more vulnerable position rather than if you're in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and so on. But the championship, 3 drivers, all 2, 3, and 4 across the line this time.
Dan West Jr. in the lead. Devin West, his son behind. Brian Bloom, Kevin Smith. There's your championship 3. Battling right behind the leader. Brightsman in tow in the 46 purple machine. Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow right behind him. And everybody's just kind of along for the ride right now here in the early going.
Yeah, that's what you're really seeing right now, but you're seeing Ryan Bloom kind of drift up the track a little bit. Kevin Smith right on his back bumper. He'll elect to stay to that outside rather than go to the bottom and follow that snake transition with the drafting from the top 3 drivers. They'll head into 1 and 2 this time. Devin all over the back bumper of his old man, and as they go into 1 and 2, Ryan Bloom trying to look for a pass on the outside of Devin off turn number 2. He's got a run. What will he do with it down in the 3?
That's Ryan Bloom on the tailgate of the 5 of Devin West, as well as Dan West Jr. in front of him, the West family. Thought about going 3 wide as he climbs up the top of the safer barrier, closes the door. Devin West shuts the door on the 25. 25 of the crossover, back to the bottom. Shades of a dirt track move, Jason, as they send her off into turn 1.
And Bloom trying to go to the bottom. Win Racing versus Team LSRTV. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 out of 2 drivers there inside the top 4. And they're side by side down the back straightaway. And Bloom looks for a way around DWJ, followed by his Win Racing teammate Kevin Smith into 00, heading into turn number 3.
Bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Kevin Smith helping out Ryan Bloom. And then you've got Team LSRTV up on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the outside lane. Frank Harris is also coming to give Stabnow a push. All this working back into the corner. Stabnow powers away to the inside. Kevin Smith, and look at the crossover again to the top to the bottom. Bottom to the top. Look at him going all over the racetrack. Slicing and dicing down the back straightaway here at Auto Club.
I tell you what, Wesley, too early to be doing this kind of stuff right now.
That's
We're only
true.
6 laps into this race. Think about all the time you have to slice and dice. You have 3 sets of tires. Take care of these tires. If I'm the crew chief, I'm telling these guys, hey man, don't forget bigger picture. Take care of these tires. I know drafting's key. I know you want to get to the lead, but bigger picture for sure as they head back down into 1.
Focus on the big mission at hand, as you just mentioned. Do that. To first win the race, you must first finish. Can't do it with these bonsai crazy moves in the early going. Keep an eye on that going on to the back straightaway. Here comes Ryan Bloom up on the top side. Rides the middle lane to the safer barrier now. Here comes the Cavalry off turn 3 and 4. Storming back to the tri-oval. What a perfect track, Jason, for the championship finale. I love Auto Club Speedway. I always have.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is too, Wesley? For years, I've always said, in my opinion, for the top 3 series in NASCAR, I never understood why we didn't go to places like California, like a Charlotte Motor Speedway, like a Las Vegas. I mean, these tracks just have so many grandstands. They have such a great atmosphere, such great racing between those 3 tracks. You know, I mean, obviously, Phoenix has a great facility now. I've heard great things about it. Obviously, the racing isn't all there, but it's a nice facility. I understand why. Homestead Miami ran its course. Always great racing. Had a great track, great facility, great fans. That's the thing, though, I love about Auto Club Speedway. The atmosphere was always great there. It always made you feel like it was a big race. And the track was always so nice. You had a nice backdrop, the multi-group racing, the tires. There's just everything about this track is something of a positive here.
That's right. Your home for sim racing, LSRTV, CRN, the championship round. About to put 10 laps on the board when they come back to the line. Still a long way to go here at Virtual Auto Club Speedway. There's the top 6 working to the flag stand. Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Devin West for the championship. Jason right there in tow. 1, 2, and 3 as they work the corner.
Yeah, back down into 1 and 2 right now as they head down this long straightaway here, known as obviously the back straightaway. Ryan Bloom was able to take that lead away just a handful of laps ago. DWJ has fallen back to 4th, and now he's under fire from one of his teammates, Jeff Stabnow, over at Team LSRTV as they go into 3 and 4, but the lead has kind of settled down, at least for the time being. Oh, DWJ slaps the wall off turn number 4. Jeff Stabnow gets a big push from Sean Brightsman off the corner, but everything seems to kind of simmer down from what we saw about 3 or 4 laps ago.
By the way, Ryan Bloom, winner at New Hampshire to put himself into the championship 4. Kevin Smith was the driver that picked up the win at Las Vegas last week in the trucks. Now, Ryan Bloom was the Wednesday night winner. And he is the only driver, Jason, and currently leading the way in the 25 that could possibly win the championship for this series and Wednesday night. Ryan Bloom, the only driver, Jason, that is running for the championship 4 in both Northwest events on season.
Yeah, and it's been great, obviously, for Ryan Bloom. Just such a stellar season. He's had, what, Wesley, 7 wins this year in the Truck Series, and it's been an amazing season for him. Obviously was able to make it to the championship 4 for the CLICKIT RV Series. Got that first win recently, and it's just been such a great season here for Ryan Bloom. And it's been funny, too, because remember, we talked about on the Wednesday side of things, oh, he's been right there, but he hasn't been able to close it out. He's been dominant in the trucks. He's probably going to make it to the Final 4. We didn't really know if he was going to make the Final 4 for the Fixed Series, but sure enough, he did. He's the only one to do so, I believe.
Win Racing trying to battle alongside Kevin Smith. up on the outside trying to reel in Bloom. And meanwhile, Devin West stays in tow. Back straightaway. Here at the Auto Club Speedway, formerly known as the Auto Club Speedway of Southern California, formerly known as California Speedway. Now, going to be totally reconfigured to a half-mile short track. NASCAR does not have Auto Club on the schedule for 2024, much less 2025, because all of the repairs have to be done, the re-innovations have to be done before they will bring them back. And actually, Jason, that's another thing that is still questionable, is will the NASCAR Cup Series race on that half-mile track whenever it is renewed?
Yeah, and I hope it happens, obviously, you know, I mean, because that's definitely a market that I think that NASCAR needs to keep on investing in. Oh, we have our first caution on the racetrack, I believe, possibly, maybe, the number 72 of BJ Tidrick. Yeah, definitely, Wesley, some front damage to that number 72 Ford F-150 here as we kick it over to the LSRTV replay. Looks like it's going to happen here coming down into 1, probably coming out of 2.
Him and Bartlett alongside, Carl Burke up on the top as well. And we'll see what happened to the two-time Northwest winner. And it looks like Bartlett turned him, nowhere to go. A Miller high-live Tidrick into the fence. On the back straightaway, that's the cause of the caution. First one here on lap number 14, closing in on 15 laps.
Yeah, just really on the 39's part. Stephen Bartlett got a little bit loose, I think, tried to cross over down the back straightaway, just tagged the right rear of BJ Tidrick, sent him around in front of the field, and now this opens up the opportunity. We're only 15 laps in, and obviously tires are going to be key here, but 15 laps in, I just don't know if I'd come into the pits this early and take tires, which we're going to see here. If anybody elects to come to pit road, remember 3 sets. Everybody's coming this time.
250 miles, 125 laps, and here comes everybody storming down the pit lane. They're looking to swallow up some fuel and tires on all 4 sides in the early going to this race at Auto Club. And by the way, Jason, especially if you're the championship 3, might mess up on your pit stop whatsoever. You can't. And Kevin Smith just done that. And Ryan Bloom just done that, where they got to back up and they lost about a half a second because of it.
Yeah, you cannot make a mistake like that, Wesley, especially coming into the pits.
Look at
losing your positions on the track is one thing, but losing them in the pits is a whole nother. Look at Ryan Bloom and Kevin Smith. Ryan Bloom was right there. He comes out 6th. Kevin Smith loses 2 spots on pit road right there, along with Ryan Bloom in the 25.
So right now, if you're counting errors like baseball, give the errors and fouls to Kevin Smith and Ryan Bloom for Win Racing, because they overshot their pit stall. They had to back up, and you saw it perfectly from the sequence of the pit exit, watching the 5 pull off the pit road before they did. And that's exactly what you cannot have happen. All the key ingredients to be there as a champion of the Northwest Racing Series at 9:10. We're at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of network ID, and we're side by side. More coverage from Auto Club next in the championship race.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Quoting some of the moments of Days of Thunder, if you will, as we are on the radio timeout. Welcome back. Lights off with a pace car. Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller, championship round. All that is left is this race. Before we start processing and preparing and adapting what the new schedule will be, season 11 for the trucks when they fire back up next year. And right now we're ready to see how it all shakes down. Team LSRTV on the front row, father, son on the front row, Jason, as we get ready to come back to the Geico restart zone for the first restart of this race. How special is that right now for the West family?
Oh, so special for sure. I mean, father-son duo right now. Obviously, I know they both want to be competing for a championship, but I know DWJ's got to be probably proud here in the sim of his son doing everything he can to try and go out here and win this title.
Field ready to come back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air as the field flashes under the flag stand. It'll take them about a lap to get back to full song. They'll funnel back out, and in turn number 1 and 2, West, Smith, top 3, back up the Bacon into 1.
You see them back down to 1 and 2 now, coming off turn number 2. Everybody filing out. You have to be careful of these cold tires. Jeff Stab now really routed up Ryan Bloom to the outside wall, but as they file out down the long 5-lane back straightaway, everybody looks to be clean as they head for 3.
Very surprised that we haven't seen that crazy 3, 4, 5 wide racing, especially, Jason, on the restarts. That's a given at a place like Auto Club or Phoenix Raceway, if you will. This track is wide enough where you can do it. They're just not taking that bravery yet as they go back into 1.
Yeah, definitely not taking too much bravery right now, but I also think that some of these guys probably learned their lesson from those first few laps when they nearly wrecked about every single time they came off 2 and then down the front straightaway. But everybody single file right now. You see some battling going on back behind the race leaders. Here comes Toby Ritters. He's pulling out a line, going down to the bottom. Notice him real quick. Take a look at both these two trucks. Shades of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Sean Brightsman running the old Dale Jr. The Taco Bell car. Obviously, Martin Church Jr. made that famous as well. So did Tony Stewart when they drove for DEI with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Obviously a part of them. And then Toby Ritters driving Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s MLB All-Star car that he drove to victory lane with in the Pepsi 400. Oh, no!
Oh, no. Nichols and Grande involved in an accident. That's the Rainbow Warrior colors of Jeff Gordon. And that's Gary Nichols and Roy Grande, the 18 and 8. Let's find out what happened. As an aerokinetics injury involved. Second caution of the race. Watch this. 3 wide. Could have been 4 wide there. Coming off that corner, Jason. We kind of mentioned this. 3 wide. Oh, just ran out of room.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, just ran out of room. Roy Grande, Ole, into the safer barrier. And it was the 8 of Nichols that caused it, man. Wow. Caution out.
Yeah, hard hit there into the outside wall for sure. No doubt about it. Wesley, you can only go so many cars deep into a corner like that, and eventually something's got to give, and unfortunately the 18 car just gave a little too much there, drifted up the track, got right into the 8.
Hey, by the way, you want to join iRacing? Scan the QR code on the screen right now. We'll leave it up during the caution flag to find out more information to joining the #1 motorsports simulation in the world. That's iRacing. And sign up for iRacing today at iRacing.com. We'll keep that QR code up during this yellow flag so you can take a picture of it if need be. But obviously, Jason, you were referring to some of the throwback colors, the 46 Sean Brightsman with the Taco Bell throwback to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. when they were at DEI. You mentioned the 23 truck, if you will, and that's our buddy Toby Ritters, Clifford, for the final race of the year. Let's show that real truck real quick, Charles. As a send-off to the season, he is driving a wrap job that looks similar to when Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove the MLB All-Star Game car in the 2001 Pepsi 400. And remember, Jason, that was not only a monumental win, but it was also the win after the passing of his father Dale Earnhardt Sr., there's a throwback to that truck right there with Toby Ritters.
Yeah, I think if you're a NASCAR fan, obviously, this is probably one of the most, and I don't care what anybody says, there's been so many iconic schemes over the years, obviously, of this 75 years, now going on 76 for this sport's history. But, I mean, when you think of iconic schemes, you think of certain moments, certain celebrations, that MLB All-Star car is really one that probably everybody remembers. It's such a simple car, but look at it. It just looks so good. It's perfect. It's got the red. It's got the DEI font practically. It's got the red on the A and the B pillars, and then it's got the red spoiler. It's got the baseball stitching all the way wrapped around the bottom, just like a baseball that they use, obviously, in the sport. And it just looks so good. And obviously, I was not around yet. I was a few months after that big win in 2001. I came along into this world, but I always go back. I watch this race.
You're telling everybody how old I am.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm telling everybody how old they are, you know. But hey, yeah. All right, Charles. Let's not talk about that, buddy. That's it's joke. But listen, oh my gosh, it's so good though to see obviously this 23 car that Toby Ritters is driving, you know, running this thing, because like I said, Wesley, this is probably in my opinion one of the most iconic paint schemes ever in the NASCAR history, in the sport.
That's right.
And obviously, definitely, probably in my opinion, a storybook ending. And just like Dale Jr. always says, and not biased towards him, I agree with him. There should definitely be a movie made about from the beginning of that 2001 season all the way to July.
Yeah. Lights are off for the pace car. We'll get ready to go back for the restart here. 2 caution flags in the opening 20 laps of this race. By the way, that's presented by Virginia811.com, providing you to dig with care. There's the race summary so far. 2 cautions, 6 laps, 3 lead changes so far in this race. So we get ready to settle in for the restart. Still father-son or son-father on the front row. And you've got Kevin Smith and Jeff Stabnow. You know, Jeff Stabnow out of the run for a championship, Jason, but you know he'd want to end the season on a high note, at least to win the championship, to at least win the race in the final run of the year. Ready to come to green. Oh, and by the way, Jeff Stabnow with no wins this year on the Northwest Truck Series, Jason. He's got 1 win for the Northwest CLICKIT RV Fix Series. That's been it. We're back to green.
As they go back down into 1, you see Jeff Stabnow trying to get around the 55 of DWJ, coming off turn number 2. Smith, though, up on his outside, down the back straightaway. Everybody going to have some kind of tow from one another, whether you be on the bottom or the top here. Going down into 3 with the draft. Stabnow has to back up his corner a little bit earlier just to make sure he doesn't run into DWJ, but as they head into 3 and 4, it's all Devin West at the front of the field over his father, all 4.
Down to the line. Here you see the top 3 right there. And now 1st, 3rd, 6th for the championship. All within a cat's whisker of one another, but it's Devin West now, son to the lead, as they work the back straightaway here at Auto Club.
And down the back straightaway, Jeff Stabnow really loose there for just a slight second off turn number 2, but he was able to save it. Great job by him as they all file down into 3 and 4. Kevin Smith almost gets right to the back bumper of DWJ. He'll slide up the hill. No contact with the wall, but Jeff Stabnow, major run off turn number 4. He'll look to the outside of Smith down the front stretch.
100 laps to go now. Lap 25 on the board. By the way, halfway, lap 63. That'll be 125 miles. 250 laps. The distance here at Auto Club Speedway. Working in the corner. Here they come back to the line. Here's Kevin Smith on the bottom, trying to battle Stabnow, trying to battle Devin West. And I'll tell you what, Jason, you got guys like Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow. They're not in the championship race, but they are teammates to Devin West. They're going to do all they can to help him, but they're also going to do what they need to do to put themselves in contention to try to win the final race of the year, too.
Oh yeah, they just want to make sure he wins the championship. They don't care if he doesn't win the race. All they care about is if he wins the championship and one of those two guys wins the race. So they're definitely going to do all they can to keep Devin out there if they're not in this title hunt, obviously. And you see Devin now under fire from Kevin Smith. Here comes Smith down to the inside, side by side, down to the one this time.
Here's something else to think about. This championship finale is 250 miles, 125 laps. Jason, usually we normally do 200 miles. 200 mile the race, the distance, that's it. Usually it would be 200 miles, 100 laps. That's not the case now tonight. When you throw on that extra 50 miles to this race to determine the winner.
Yeah, and obviously that's a huge thing too. You know, 125 laps here is a little long though, obviously, just because this is still a 2-mile track. They're turning lap times about 9 seconds quicker than what you would at a Daytona or a Talladega, which is obviously just a little bit bigger. And whoa, Ryan Bloom nearly cut right across the front bumper of Sean Brightsman off turn number 2. Some hard racing going on, but again, long race for these guys. Gotta keep it clean.
If this was a 200-mile race, we would be done at lap 100. This is, however, 250 miles. 125 laps, another 25 laps and 50 miles is added onto this race to determine the winner. All this going on now, lap number 30. Next time around when they come to the line, Kevin Smith, now the new leader. There is the 00, as you see him starting to pop into view to the back stretch. And behind them, behind third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, it's a chopping block on the virtual pavement at Auto Club as they climb the bank into 3.
Down into 3 and 4 they go. Ryan Bloom trying to utilize that outside lane to his advantage and off the corner. Nearly slaps the wall. Jeff Stabnow going to be right behind him in tow as Brightsman, Ritters. They'll look to the outside, duck back in line. Everybody, though, files back out down into 1 and 2. Still single file.
Kevin Smith, Devin West, 1 and 2. Ryan Bloom, who was the top contender at the start of the race, has now fell back to 4th. Still in the hunt. Remember, you don't have to win this race. You just got to be the highest finisher of the guys you're battling for the championship. Oh, and Jason, we've called many finales where literally the leaders have crashed each other out for the championship. Homestead, Vegas comes to mind. Also, if I remember, when Cole Raz and Caden Anderson, if you remember, wrecked each other.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what gave the championship to Chris White, if I remember correctly, or Brian Barnes. So many pages of racing history could be written, no doubt, from this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And obviously, you know, every single race is history written in the Northwest history book, and it's been so awesome to call this, obviously, this year. It's been such a privilege to call it. Been a privilege to call it about halfway through the year last year. It's been so fun to call, obviously, these last 2 years practically with you, Wesley, and also over here on LSRTV. And tonight we're going to see who takes home this edition of this year's Northwest Truck Series Championship.
.32 of 125 laps to the back stretch they go. There you see Ryan Bloom, Jeff Stabnow, Sean Brightsman. 30 laps to the halfway mark of this race as far as the lap of the race. Now here comes the field down to the line. Another lap on the board here. Sean Tell you what, Sean Breitzman. Get in there and make a move. Sean Breitzman now, that 46 to the inside, trying to make a run on Stabnow. Stabnow trying to reel in Bloom. All this going on here. Ride and drive right now, I believe, Jason's the smart thing to do. We had a couple of cautions in the opening 20 laps of the race, but now, honestly, you know, it's just too early to be aggressive or try to make desperate moves. You need to, but you need to know when it's the right time to do it. Do you agree, my friend?
Absolutely. Even though we're definitely a little bit more, you know, further into this race than when the last time I said it was, yes, you absolutely still have to keep the tires on and still have to maintain your truck. You know, this is a long race. You know, we talked about, you know, 250 miles, Wesley. That is not easy. And oh no. Oh boy. I tell you what, Wesley, you saw it just like I saw it and everybody else saw it. That 00, Kevin Smith, nearly dropped out of this race due to an internet connection issue. That's going to be something that 00 is going to have to worry about now, possibly. We're going to have to keep a close eye on. We've seen time and time again this season that the 00 has been disconnected from race sessions due to internet connection issues. This could be a huge, huge complication for this championship race.
Hopefully that does not happen to Kevin Smith. It happened many times this year where literally he done well. Strong truck, disappeared, couldn't come back. A little ink and blink and nod. Somehow can he go to the finish? Right now he's in the lead. Here comes Devin West reeling him in. He's down to the inside. Dan West Jr., father, up on the outside. Working single file off of turn number 2. Ryan Bloom right there. Top 3 for the championship. In the top 5 of the back straightaway. We got a caution. Yellow flag is out. I think it's Gamble. Robert Gamble, the Aerokinetics 54. He just dropped on the scoring pylon. And it is the 54 with a problem, Jason. Caution out for the 3rd time here at Auto Club in the championship race.
Yeah, and he was right on the tail end of that pack with Toby Ritters. And then, unfortunately, I believe it was going to be coming down here into turn number 2. Got to see what happened. Oh, Ritters with a heck of a save.
Oh, man.
Could have saved it probably, but Robert Gamble just ran right into him, didn't get it slowed down in time, and just runs right into the left side door of Toby Ritters, causing him to spin right around.
Man, let's watch that one more time if we can, between Annenbacher, Ritters, and Gamble. Maybe the aerial view, the top side, our aerial coverage, presented by LSRTV as we're working on getting the replay in the truck for you. Oh my goodness. And Jason, you mentioned what a save. What a save they made. Here it is. Watch it one more time from the aerial view. There it is. got a lot of bells and gadgets here. Let's see this aerial coverage presented by LSRTV. Jason, what are you seeing here?
Yeah, well, this really all starts, you know, with obviously the 89 and the 23 battling side by side. And I mean, the 89 is consistently right there with the 23, and then all of a sudden has this massive run coming into 1 and 2, played with a factor by the draft. And then into the corner right here, the 89, he just gets he gets back to the gas too early, comes down. Toby Ritter's probably going to save that truck, but unfortunately, Robert Gamble right there on the bottom. Not enough time for him to react, or just didn't get it slowed up in time. Runs right into Ritters, and both those two end up with damage on them.
How badly damaged do you think Ritter's truck could possibly be in? And you know, do you save that fast repair for right now? Here's we come up on lap 40 of the race.
I would definitely save that fast repair. Yes, it was a hard hit to the left side door, but maybe in a second, once we can get a chance to get these guys back out and running, we're going to take a look here at the left side door of this 23. I'm not seeing a lot. I don't know if he took a fast repair. Maybe we can get Charles to give us some more info on that here in a minute. And now hearing that he did not take that fast repair, Wesley. So that 23, he got lucky. Yeah, probably. I don't really see any damage to that truck. I don't think this is going to tell us the story right here. coming down this back straightaway, that left side. You could see the scrape.
Maybe on the side of the car. Yeah.
It could probably play effect with like side force, but I don't think it's going to be that bad considering it's on the left side rather than that right side.
I think it's all cosmetic, if you ask me. If you don't know what cosmetics are, ask your boyfriend, ask your girlfriend or your wife about makeup. It's all cosmetic, in my opinion. That's what I think it is. Cosmetic damage as we are under the caution flag. And I think I just scared Charles away. Oh, just slap a little lipstick on it, as they say, Jason. Everyone's a winner.
I don't think we have a producer anymore, folks.
We lost our guy out of the truck. Oh, cut back, Charles. How's the league playing? Oh, if you're going to go all out, right? Last race of the year. Hey, Jason, let everybody know, though, man, we got a lot of cool races that are going on beginning next Tuesday night on a Tuesday night race. And then we've got the FEG PC Super Speedway Money Wednesday Series. We had that race the other night at Talladega. We'll be at Daytona this Wednesday night. And, man, it's really fun. A lot of cool things we're still doing for the winter months.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great time for us up here in the booth. You know, obviously real racing not around, but, you know, we have iRacing. You know, this is the closest thing we're going to get to the real action. And, you know, I mean, if you're not a southern state, you're not really racing. By southern state, I'm talking like states where it never snows. I'm talking, you know, basically only Florida. I mean, everywhere else, somewhere, somehow it snows. So, I mean, it's rare that you ever see racing in the wintertime. The only time you really ever see it outside is at, you know, obviously Five Flag Speedway for the Snowball Derby. But obviously we got iRacing. That's a big thing for us here.
And ready for restart. Lap number 40. 85 to go. And Devin West with another great restart. Gone in the 5. Here comes Kevin Smith. Oh no, Ryan Bloom, championship driver, made a mistake. Spins around out of turn 2. Caution out. Wow.
Oh,
the number 1 seed of the championship goes around. Here's a replay of what happened. Yellow flag number 4 at Auto Club. Jason, what are you thinking here, man? I'm watching him dive in the corner. I think he thought about going 3 wide and just try to get up under the back of Smith and West, and the truck just lost it. He just grazed off of Dan West Jr. on the left rear.
DWJ got loose, and then Bloom was still coming up, and when the time came that DWJ did get loose and that car wiggled to the left, it just kind of sideswiped the 25, caused him to go around. And that was really, Wesley, all caused with the conclusion of being on cold tires. First restart after that yellow flag. That's right. A big deal. And this is a track which cold tires mean a huge amount. I remember one time I raced in a Gen 6 race here, and then an Xfinity races, or the Gen 6 race, and an Xfinity Series race here. And boy, you could not at all get going on the restarts on cold tires. You sail it down into 1 and 2, you're practically spinning coming off turn number 2. But that's a factor. Cold tires, big factor in the racing world. You don't get enough heat into them. You don't get enough optimal temperature, or get them to their optimal temperature of what you want them to be. Those tires will have little to no grip, obviously, out on the racetrack. The colder your tires are, the less grip they're going to have. The hotter your tires are, the slicker it's going to be, but you're going to have a lot more grip rather than being on cold tires.
And that little slide, that little looseness by the 55 caused such chaos with the air coming off of that second turn. And you saw the end result right there with the driver, Dan West Jr., able to keep on going. Ryan Bloom, gotta wonder how much damage is on his truck. It more like a slide, if you will. Ryan Bloom is in the back. He's on pit road. He'll be at the rear. Yeah, he did. Brian Bloom, third pit stop of the race. He did come down to the pit lane. He also joined Chris Kynes, who, by the way, is on the lead lap of the 20, right there in front of him. You know, Jason, you mentioned Toby Ritters and the MLB All-Star 2001 throwback truck. There, of course, Chris Kynes and another Mountain Dew 88, number 20, Dale Jr. Cup Series Hendrick throwback as well.
Yeah, love that number. What is that, 23 machine or 25?
20, number 20.
Number 20, yeah. Absolutely love that machine. Definitely one of my favorite Dale Jr. schemes being the Diet Mountain Dew Chevrolet that he used to drive all the way from 2012 all the way to 2015. Beautiful car, never changed. I think it looked best on the old COT, obviously, when they went to the regular spoiler and the regular splitter back in 2011 and 2012. And then Junior ran that scheme in 2012. And boy, oh boy, it just looks so beautiful. In my opinion, definitely one of the most underrated Dale Jr. schemes for sure.
And homage and respect to the two-time NASCAR Xfinity, at the time Busch Series champion, in the Hall of Fame, and the two-time Daytona 500 winner as well for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Devin West is ready to bring the field back to green when the lights are off on the pace car. This time by, we're going to punch him up here. Devin West, Kevin Smith now on the front row. Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow, followed by Sean Breitzman. Top 5, Toby Ritters, John Onnebacher, BJ Tidrick, Robert Campbell, Stephen Paulus in the top 10. Lights off on the pace car. It'll be 20 laps away from 125 miles, halfway in this 250-mile contest here at the Virtual Auto Club Speedway. Just over 100 miles in this race so far. As the field gets ready to watch the pace car drop onto the pit lane, safety cars out of harm's way. Let's pause our voice for a minute. Feel the roar as we're back to green, extended at Auto Club. Green flag. Well, back off into the corner there. You see him again. Top 4, pull it away. Devin West, Dan West Jr., Kevin Smith, Brian Bloom, Jason all the way back to 8th. He's in the snakes patch, but he's trying to run back down the top 5 and get back in that pack. Kevin Smith under DWJ. DWJ over Devin. Looking inside, he could clear him. And Jeff Stab now watching all this going on as Kevin Smith continue to get ink and blink and nod.
Not what Kevin Smith obviously wants right now, Wesley, this late into the race. I mean, and his championship hopes are obviously on the line. He does not want to see them go up in smoke due to connection issues. They head back down into 1 and 2. He's going to try to look to the outside here of DWJ, and right behind him, Jeff Stab now coming with a head of steam off too.
2 by 2 on the outside. Here comes now Smith going after West. West and Dan W. Got DWJ to the inside. Dan West Jr. now battles with Smith. That's that wing racing sandwich with LSRTV being the bread down in the corner. And Stab now licking his chops, ready to pounce on him, making a triple with cheese. Down in the turn out of 4 to the line. Kevin Smith falling back. Stab now trying to get the clear. He can't get as they go back into 1.
Back down into 1. Smith still trying to work this outside lane against father and son off the corner. Might be able to clear DWJ down the back. He will. Now he looks for a position around Devin West for the race lead. He'll head down to the inside now for the race lead into 3.
This time by, and caution's out. Yellow flag will fly. Oh my goodness, Bartlett spun around, so is Harrison 11. 39 and 11, caution out for the 5th time, just before lap number 50, approaching 75 to go. Here's a replay for yellow flag number 5. In the back. Oh, Chris Kynes. Oh boy, just up. Oh no, man, Bartlett turns into Harris. Oh man, 2 hard shots for the 11 right there, Jason.
Yeah, not something that obviously Frank wanted to see for sure. He was having a solid night tonight, and obviously these guys have been dealing with a lot of yellows so far. We've had some decent green flag runs, but not enough yet to really get a clear picture at who is the best on these long runs for sure.
3 sets of tires plus the set you had when you started the race on. Do you come down the pit lane right now? The answer for Kevin Smith is no. Everyone else says yes, 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 yes. No, they don't. Devin West, Dan West Jr. Oh, what a sneaky, slithering move to stay onto the racetrack behind Kevin Smith and stay in position. And look at Ryan Bloom, Jason. He'll be up to 5th now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Wesley, they're crazy if they come in. It's just a complete waste of a set of tires because they last pitted around or on lap 38. I mean, you've only gone, at the time of caution, you only went about 11, 12 laps on that set of green flag stickers. There's no point in coming to the pits. I would say if we get another caution within the next probably, I'd say 20 laps or so, then yeah, absolutely come and pit for sure.
Hey, LSRTV would like to remind you to join us for a very special event. It will be on Sunday, December the 10th. Practice at 6:30, the race at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It is the McCullough's Motorsports American 500. This will be the trucks from the Talladega Super Speedway. 188 laps for the trucks, Jason. That's usually half the distance, if you will, when the trucks race. It's going to be fun, money on the line, stage breaks as well. 3 attempts at overtime and 1 fast repair. And the American 500 will be broadcast live on LSRTV Sunday, December 10th.
Yeah, that should be fun, obviously, for sure. And I mean, it's just going to be a crazy race, probably. You know, we also saw some crazy racing this past Wednesday there for the FEG PC or Custom PC, you know, Money Series. I mean, that was an absolutely amazing show. Short race, money on the line. That was a crazy race, and I'm ready to go again Wednesday for sure for that. And also the conclusion for the Thick Series as well for the Northwest Division as well.
Yeah, there's, of course, the Tuesday night series as well that'll be firing up during the winter time, and their first race will be the Aspiration Homes Motor City Mayhem. Again, that'll be another, of course, 13-week series during the winter months of just some of the things that we'll be doing. We've got, again, the FEG PC Wednesday night championship super speedway series. What a fun race that was the other night. Next Tuesday night, I think Jason and I are on the call for the Motor City Mayhem. That's the new simracerhub.com challenge winner series. That's going to be fun with the trucks and all of that going on. Going to have fun. Yeah, you've heard of DWJ, Dan West Jr. Well, we have CWJ, Charles Wesley, and Jason on the production because it seems like we're the only people available. Which makes me want to throw that ad out there before we come back for the restart. If you are a producer or an announcer and you are interested in wanting to join the team, contact us today. Message us on Facebook at LiveSimRacingTV.com. Ready to go back to green with just about 15 to go here at Auto Club, here in the championship, here for the Northwest Truck Series. Who will it be? And Kevin Smith now licks his chops as the new man up in front of the 00. Back straight away. Kevin Smith, Dan West Jr. now falls all the way back to third. Devin West now holding together. Jason, look at Toby Ritters. Look at him come up through the bottom of the racetrack. He's looking at the top three.
And this would be crazy if Toby Ritters can get up there. He doesn't have any drafting help right now in front of him. Obviously, everybody's sneaking all around this racetrack, but with the damage on Ritter's left side, I just can't believe he's been able to drive this far up to the front. He's got to be easy. Nearly gets to the Stab now. Stab now is going to watch the track nearly get into the 25 of Bloom. And here comes Ryan Bloom back into the top four from that spin just a handful of laps ago.
About washed up in front of Ritters, then he washed up in front of Stab now. Stab now into Bloom. They hold it together now as they work into turn number 3 and 4. Coming back down to the line, under 10 laps to go to the halfway mark of this race. Still a long way to go, 125 laps, 250 miles. Usually we'd be coming to the finish of this race now. Not done yet, the leader is now Devin West, getting back around Kevin Smith as they work off 2.
And down off turn number 2, you see Jeff Stab now trying to take a stab at the top 3, no pun intended. Here comes DWJ. He'll work down now to the inside, nearly 3 wide for the race lead as they go back down into 3.
I was about to say, pardon the pun, that sounded perfectly. Devin West inside, Smith will throw the block on the outside lane. Dan West Jr. now the monkey in the middle. He'll go to the inside now, pull up in front of the machine at the tailgate. Now, Stab now, Annenbacher. Bloom is up with his boss man. He's climbing back to the pack on the outside into 2.
2 by 2 by 2 for the top 6 right now. And John Ottenbacher up there as well. 2 guys in the top 6 who were practically wrecked a handful of laps ago. Back battling for the lead is Smith. West, they're still side by side again for the race lead back to 3.
Making it happen again, working their way off the corner into turn number 3. Here comes now Smith up the hill. Now Dan West Jr. now trying to follow the line with son. Ryan Bloom up top. He'll get help now. Throwing the block. It's going to be out. Devin West to the bottom of the outside. Pulls and throws the block on Ryan Bloom. He let Kevin Smith have the bottom. Kevin Smith will now pull in front of Devin. Clean air for DWJ as they work 1.
And DWJ had that clean air. Now it's taken away from Kevin Smith as Smith slides up the track. Devin West slams the door on Ryan Bloom off turn number 2 and back down the back straightaway. They have a head of steam on Kevin Smith. Back down into 3. Bloom outside. Devin West bottom. Kevin Smith, your race leaders, they race off 4.
Working back turn 4 to the start-finish line, and all 3 drivers in the championship 4, with the exception of Dennis Moore. By the way, Dennis Moore, I know he's watching. He's cheering on Win Racing's Kevin Smith and Ryan Bloom. He can't be there tonight because he's had hunting obligations. But checking out the broadcast right now, all those drivers in the top 3 down the back stretch. Stab now, looking inside, looking high, looking low. Nothing there as they work the conga line into the corner, and now they're going to do-si-do 2 by 2 out of 4.
Back out of turn number 4, everybody just trying to maintain their positions or pick up more if they can. Down the long straightaway, here comes Devin West. He's all over the back bumper of Kevin Smith. But as they conga line down the front straightaway, back into 1, it's still Kevin Smith, but Devin looking to the outside with Bloom right there on his quarter panel on 2.
Back into the turn again, it's going to be now Devin Smith. Kevin Smith, Devin West right now. Kevin, Devin, and Ryan, 1, 2, and 3. Stabnow right there in tow behind him. And they'll stay single file. Stabnow up the hill. He just wants to win a race. It will be a winless season for him as far as in the trucks for the all-time leader of race starts for the Northwest tonight. His 427 career start for Jeff Stabnow. 40 career wins. 167 top 5s, 272 top 10s. And right now, he is right there watching these guys that are battling for the championship, battle for the win, and watching them hit the back straightaway on lap 60.
Yeah, trying to make it 41 wins tonight. Here he comes to the inside of Ryan Bloom. That's the battle going on for third as they work their way down into 3 and 4. Stabnow has that advantage, but Ryan Bloom going to be right in the toe of Devin West off the corner. Stabnow slides up in front of DWJ, and DWJ hot on the LSRTV machine of Jeff Stabnow back into 1.
Smith staying in line, holding on to that top spot. All this going on as they work their way into the corner. Mercy, still not over. Strap in, as right now you see all these guys working their way off the corner. Off of turn number 4, Kevin Smith now wants to be the man to say, I can be the champion. He's got to close in. Next time by, cross flags will be in the air. Jason is right now. Kevin Smith holding off the champions of West and Bloom to the back straightaway.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith trying everything he can do to defend himself from Devin West, who's been so good this year. Ryan Bloom, who's been the dominator, along with obviously Dennis Moore not in attendance tonight. Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow, the best of the best, up at the front right now, and Kevin Smith doing a great job holding them all at bay as those 5 trucks try to race towards them for the lead. And Jeff Stabnow switches over. He'll go to the bottom of Ryan Bloom, nearly making contact into 1.
All about making that move down to the corner now. Ryan Bloom will go to the outside. Jeff Stabnow will follow on of Dan West Jr. of those 3 wide. He thought about going 3 wide. He gives him plenty of room 3 wide. And now Bloom will clear by Stabnow. Stabnow gets the clear away from West. Ottenbacher watching all this going on, and we're coming to the cross flags. Halfway home, 125 miles down. 125 miles remain, and we welcome you to the LSRTV Mid-Race Report. I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller alongside. Charles Wood doing a phenomenal job on pushing the buttons. Jason, this race, as we mentioned when we came on the air, has had it all. We are not disappointed, and obviously the question is, who wants the championship more? We could see anybody win this race, honestly, but I think it's only fitting to have these champions right there in the cusp of the top 5 all night long.
See, this is the thing, Wesley, about this track when it comes to iRacing, especially in the trucks. Now remember, the truck series realistically in real life hasn't been here in years, so you really don't know exactly what this race is going to be out to play with. All you can think about is, okay, how have other races played out for me when I've raced the truck here? How can I set myself up? And there's just a plethora of things to think about. But when you think about this race, obviously you want to keep the tires on it. We are just at halfway, basically. There is still a long race to go. And I mean, by the looks of it, Kevin Smith is very, very strong. Devin West, though, he has been right there to take a stab at him every once in a while. And then we've seen the non-playoff drivers, DWJ, Jeff Stabnow, John Ottenbacher, Sean Brightsman fades out here and there. There's a lot of guys who can take opportunities away from these guys battling for this championship. And then Ryan Bloom, what a comeback he's made. And then obviously, the top 3. I mean, what can you say? That's the top 3 of the championship. I tell you what, Wesley, if I had to make a pick right now for this championship, I really, honestly, like if there was money on this, I really don't know who I would choose. Bloom has been the dominator all year. Kevin Smith has been fast, but somehow, some way, he just can't necessarily close it out. Did it last week, trying to do it again, but then Devin West has been consistent all year long, right there when it matters the most. I mean, a top 5, one top 5 what got him here. He doesn't want to lead being -1. He wants to be in the lead, +1, championship virtually in his hand. Wesley, I'm going to say Devin West wins this title here tonight.
I'll be honest with you. I really want to say Kevin Smith. I want to say that Kevin Smith is carrying the momentum after winning last week at Las Vegas. If he wins here tonight, obviously what we saw Ryan Blaney do in the Cup Series. You know, Ryan Blaney won Martinsville, and then he carried that momentum into the Championship 4 finale at Phoenix last week as well in the Cup Series. But I'm telling you, I'm like you. I want to say Ryan Bloom, but Ryan Bloom, the #1 seed, had problems on the racetrack. Yeah, there you go, Ryan Blaney. He had problems on the racetrack. So Charles is off in La La Land. He says Jeff Stabenow for the championship. He's not even qualified for it. You know, obviously I want to see Jeff Stabenow win a race. Not going to lie to you. And honestly, Jason, in closing, that's something that we really need to keep an eye on. You've got that race for the championship, but you've also got these guys that literally are in the cusp of wanting to win to end the season. Jeff Stabenow has not won a truck race in 2 years. He wants to win if he can make it happen. 1 win only in the Northwest Xfinity program on Wednesday night. That's been it for the 24.
Yeah, and the thing, too, is you think about it this year. Now, Cup I can speak for. Trucks and Xfinity, I think it's a little differently. But if it stands true to what I'm thinking, Christian Eckes, first driver to not be able to win a championship, but wins the season finale back at Phoenix last week on Friday night. And then, obviously, Ross Chastain. Out of the years since 2014 that this playoff format was implemented in the NASCAR Cup Series initially, we have every single year seen the championship winner win the season finale. But Ross Chastain changed that stat 1 week ago, just a couple Sundays ago, went to victory lane. Ryan Blaney finished second, so we very well could be looking at a same scenario like that here tonight. Remember, DWJ, Jeff Stabenow, Ottenbacher, Breitzman, they've all got fast trucks. Watch out for that 24 truck here late in this race.
We're on lap number 70 of 125. That has been your LSRTV mid-race report update as we get ready to go back to the on-track activity with lap winding down here as we're approaching 70 of 125. What is that, 65 or 55 laps to go down into the corner. It's Devin West in this second spot, and Jeff Stabenow. Now they almost tangle with one another. These are teammates on the racetrack, Jason, going at it for second.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I think right now, I think what Jeff's trying to do, and it's really smart, but you have to be careful considering the fact that they're teammates. But something you don't see in this sport is obviously teammates that are running 2 different manufacturers, but obviously Northwest, they can stand by, hey, we run different manufacturers, but we could still be teammates. And obviously that F-150 and that Silverado, their bumpers don't line up exactly properly. And what Jeff Stabenow is trying to do is he's running a different line, trying to get the runs off the corner, trying to let Devin have those runs, but he's giving him the pushes down the front straightaway. It's not going to work this time. Devin got a little loose, so did Jeff, but you can see this 24 trying to push his LSRTV teammate to get to that lead.
And right now, back into the corner, I think we lost it. It's back up again. Here comes Kevin Smith. In that lead spot, Devin West will follow in tow. Here comes Stabenow. Stabnow's got a fast truck, Jason. He's just right now, I think, methodically, as a veteran racer, as the all-time starter of this series, knowing what he needs to do, and when it's the right time to pounce, it just isn't right now on predator or prey, and that includes his teammate right now as it closes in on Devin West again on a turn 4, using the draft. He's not trying to rough up Devin West. He's using the draft to reel in these 2 drivers as they go back into 1.
Great work by these 2 LSRTV teammates. Look at Jeff. He's just not getting back to the gas yet, not only because he's sliding up, but because he wants to roll through the center better than Devin to get the run off the top and give him a push like he's about to.
down this straightaway, gives him the push, gives him another one, and down into 3. Devin tried to go to the inside, but Kevin threw a nasty, nasty block down into 3.
And now he's going to drift up in front of Jeff Stab now. And Jeff is going to go up under the back of the tailgate on the machine at West. And the top 3 throw a blanket over him. Tighter than the lid on a pickle jar at your grandma's house on Thanksgiving night. Down into the corner. What the hell?
This 5 of Devin West is just really, really throwing everything he can at this 0-0 right here. And here he goes again, down into 3. Will he be able to get this lead away? Kevin Smith chopping him off right in the center of the corner. Takes the air away off the 5's rear spoiler. And Kevin Smith. Oh, we got pit stops coming up. The 5, the 24, the 5,
goodness.
The 89. Unexpected. I didn't even notice we were coming up on green flag stops. And boy, oh boy, that came at us, I think, all for a surprise. We were having so much fun calling the racing, we forgot all about tires. Green flag pit stops here on lap 75, Wesley.
I was not expecting this whatsoever. Here comes everybody part of Team LSRTV, with the exception of Sean Brightsman, coming down to pit road. So make no mistake about it, whenever Win Racing, when Kevin Smith and Ryan Bloom come down to the pit lane, you know they'll be with one another. Right now they're 1 and 2 on the racetrack. Here comes Stab now. Audenbacher up on the top, in the middle, the 24. Then you've got West, and they're all leaving about the same time. Dan West Jr. not moved yet. Now he rolls. And they'll get back on track on the lead lap. Here comes the leaders. Here comes now Smith in. Bloom did not pit with the Win Racing 0-0. Jason, could we call this the money stop, my friend?
I don't think so. I think these guys are still going to have to pit one more time, possibly. But, I mean, when you look at everything in retrospect, this is their 3rd time coming onto the pits. I just don't know. I don't think they're going to maybe even make it on tires, and if they do, they're going to have such a low amount of grip. So if this is your money stop of the race, which it looks like it is, because Ryan Bloom has pitted already 3 times. Well, actually, no, rather, all the rest of the field has already pitted 3 times now. So that is all 3 sets of tires. And when you look at the time difference, get this, Ryan Bloom right now, leader, 41.952. Jeff Stabnow ran his fastest lap of the race just a handful of laps ago, 40.024. That is a huge difference out on this racetrack, especially at Auto Club. So you have to take care of these tires. If you're Ryan Bloom, Sean Brightsman, Stephen Bartlett, guys who have not pitted yet, you are saving your tires because you think it is going to come down to the last stop, and you're going to have to save that set for just the right amount of time left.
Hey, Jason, remember Ryan Bloom pitted on lap 42. Remember when he got involved in that accident when he spun? He actually, on a restart, came to the pit lane. That was the last time he pitted, so it's been a while since these other guys pitted. But he is probably going to try to stretch it for at least probably another 10 laps, I'm predicting, unless he comes to the pit lane. I'm thinking lap 80, 85, he's going to have to pit. But I think he's praying possibly for a late race caution flag here on the lap number 80 of the race this time by.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, if you're Ryan Bloom, you want to make sure that you can trap this field a lap really spread out so far, Wesley. On a confirmed report from Charles Wooten, only 3 sets of tires. So Wesley, what you said really could be true. This 25, and oh, never mind, take what I said,
here he comes,
throw it out the window. Here comes Ryan Bloom. Now let's take a look though. Let's see if he in fact has one more set of tires. Remember, it says he's pitted 3 times, but maybe one of those times he pitted, he didn't take tires. So we're going to see what happens with this number 25 truck. He's going to be coming down in the Win Racing machine, this time into his pit stall, all the way down the long pit road. He's into his box. Let's see, will he take tires? Does he have any left? He does. Yep. He does have tires, so he still has 1 set left. I like this call by Ryan Bloom, but the one thing I don't like about it is when you look at it,
He's pitting on lap 81. Everybody else around lap 74, 75. That is not a big difference with laps within the tire ranges between the 74 and 81. I don't know if this call is going to work for him, but if it does, boy oh boy, Ryan Bloom, call of the year.
Ryan Bloom for the championship, possibly in 8th. Stays in the lead lap. Here comes everybody running down, and there goes his teammate. He'll pull up in front of Kevin Smith, and he'll stay right there within the battle. He's 39 seconds back to the leader. That's John Brightsman. Stephen Bartlett, Gary Nichols. They are the first 3 that need to pit that have not pitted yet. They pitted on lap number 50, 49. And when they do, then it's going to give the lead back to Devin West. Jeff Stabnow in second. Fastest man on the track, as Jason mentioned. 40.024. He's right there in tow with the leader. Dan West Jr. right there at it. Jason, it's been a battle all year long. Team LSRTV doing what they need to do. Some drivers running for a championship. Other guys just running for a win. You got a father trying to help a son. What great storylines here between this West Stabnow battle down the backstretch for the top 3.
Yeah, this is just cool to see right now, and obviously this is going to be the battle for the lead. I mean, John Ottbacher's 3.5 seconds back from this pack right here, and obviously when Brightsman, Bartlett, and Nichols pit, they're going to be back there. So this is going to cycle out to be your battle for the lead and probably the race win. So I mean, if you're Devin West, sure, go on, do what you got to do to go win this championship. But if you're Jeff Stabnow and DWJ, go out, race him. You know, you don't have to give him all the room. You can give him some room. He's your teammate. Go out there and race him, man. I mean, it's early. I'm sure they just want to stay in line. They don't want to battle. They don't want to, you know, really use up their tires. But we'll see here as these laps wind down.
So many of these guys burn the midnight oils, and they test, and they work so hard to get these cars ready, virtually, chasing these dreams. Here comes Stephen Bartlett, by the way, in pit road. This will put West up to 3rd down, waiting for Brightsman and Nichols to pit. We know it's going to happen, Jason. It's just a matter of when, as we're at 40 laps to go now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Sean Brightsman and Gary Nichols, you're just hoping for a yellow flag, really. That's all you could do. I mean, that's really all you can do. You're just banking on caution. Your season is basically hanging by a caution. That's all you need. You get that break, your luck can definitely change. But Sean Brightsman, he's been kind of quick all night. You know, he's been trailing behind that lead pack that we've usually seen. Gary Nichols, on the other hand, we haven't really seen too much of. So we'll see if there's going to be a yellow in these closing laps. What will it do? What will it provide here for these guys late in this race?
Sean Brightsman, Gary Nichols, both in Dell Jr. and Jeff Gordon throwback trucks to their respective eras in the sport. Actually, it's Martin Truex Jr. is what it was for DEI throwback with Sean Brightsman. And there you see they are, right there, coming to the line. Lap 86. Jeff Stabnow up under Dan West Jr. right there in tow, trying to run down son Devin. All going at it down into the corner when Brightsman and Nichols pit. And here comes Sean Brightsman. Brightsman's in. Part of Team LSRTV, but he's out of the sequence with these other guys. Here comes also Bartlett back down pit road again. And Gary Nichols is in, Jason. Here comes the lead cavalry storming to the line out of turn number 3. Dan West Jr. Jeff Stabnow trying to run down son Devin for the win, for the championship. Put the 5 back to the lead when they come to turn 4, and there they are.
And there's your battle for the lead, and what could be the race win. Devin West, Jeff Stabnow. Yeah, and the championship as well. DWJ, Ryan Bloom.
We're going to see what this does for him with those fresher tires by just about 6 laps. Last time around, he ran a 40.7, and the guys in front of him are running 41.2s, 41.3s. So he is faster. Question is, will he have enough time?
Jeff Stabnow, fastest man of the race. 40.024. He's right there within the hunt of the leader. Here's the thing, Jason. You don't need to lose ground to the leader, Devin West, but if you're Stabnow and Dan West Jr., you need to stay in tow, but you don't need to burn and use your truck up and your tires faster than the 5 is. That's the key.
Yeah, that's definitely the key, and obviously their key is also, I think they definitely know that Ryan Bloom is coming. And remember, he is pretty much Win Racing's last hope. I mean, Kevin Smith right now, if this race were to end here in 10 laps, he is out of the picture. Ryan Bloom is 4.5 seconds back. He is starting to trail into that same lap time as the 3 race leaders. But as these laps tick down, we're going to see what will they do. Whoa! Big move right there by Gary Nichols. Tried to maybe side draft the 5, not enough, and nearly came down and almost wrecked the 3 drivers of LSRT or Team LSRTV. But obviously, with Ryan Bloom taking those tires a little bit later, he's not going to have a lot of help with draft, obviously. So, I mean, he's going to have to do something if he wants to catch the race leader. I just don't know if it's going to happen. We're going to have to see. All these guys in front of him, though, they got to stay single file. They got to keep one another in check here for these next handful of laps.
Closing in on 35 laps to go. There's the top 4. Put Odenbacher in the green machine, and there's your top 5. We're at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification on CRN, the championship round of the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV from Auto Club Speedway.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Under 35 laps to go for this race here at Auto Club for 250 miles for the championship that hangs in the balance, and for season 10 of the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV. Welcome, I'm Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller alongside Charles Wooten in the production booth for Rocket Racing Media, and it has come down to this. Team LSRTV for the championship, for the win. 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack out of turn number 4.
And down this front straightaway here, you just see them going single file. Gary Nichols, not a factor. He is 1 lap down, looking to try to get a yellow flag, but these guys in front of him, I don't know how it's going to look. Ryan Bloom, he has closed that gap little by little. He went, and Jeff Stabnow way up the racetrack out of turn number 2, nearly hit the wall. It's going to cost him some time. Ryan Bloom at one point was 4.5 seconds back. He's nearly 2.5 seconds back, so do not count this 25 out yet.
Ryan Bloom, if he can catch Harris, the lap truck, up in front of him, he can reel in with Odenbacher. Those drivers can then catch up to Nichols and company and run their way up to the front of these top 3 trucks. All this going on now. As they work through, actually, Ryan Bloom has bypassed John Odenbacher. My apologies. He's got to get up with Frank Harris and Gary Nichols. Those are the trucks I was referring to down the back straightaway. There you see him, and he is getting faster, Jason, and faster as we're approaching lap number 95 when they come to the line.
Yeah, he's running out of time. I just don't know if he's going to get there. Jeff Stabnow keeps on going up this racetrack. I think they know that this 25 is flying right now. They need to get Devin West as far out as they can until they know that they're in a comfortable position where they can start battling for this win with Devin. But we're going to have to see coming up this time by. It's going to be 30 laps to go at the line. We're going to see who's going to get it done.
The recent champions were Dan West Jr., by the way, 2020, 2021. Last year, Tyler King was the Truck Series champion. He wasn't even in a chance for even the playoffs this year. Ryan Bloom, a former ARCA Northwest champion back in 2021 during the COVID years. And Ryan Bloom is the only driver of two of the championship four, my apologies, of the two sanctioning bodies is what I meant to say, that has a chance to win the championship in both. Obviously, remember the what he did in New Hampshire a couple of weeks ago to punch himself in. And then, if that wasn't enough, then he turned around and he punched his ticket into the championship four last Wednesday night at Vegas for the Xfinity Championship for the Northwest CLICKIT RV Fix Series. That race will be on Wednesday night. All the while, Jason, it's still Devin West. Jeff Stabnow, though. How hungry are you, man? How hungry is Jeff Stabnow to not win all year long and try to get a win to close out the year for the man that's got the most starts of anybody, but tonight, start number 427 of his career.
I mean, you want this win, obviously, but, you know, you got to look bigger picture as well. You have to put your teammate out far enough to where Ryan Bloom isn't going to be a factor. Ryan Bloom is actually only about a tenth faster than these guys right now, so tires starting to come into play big time for Ryan Bloom. He's trying his hardest to keep up with the tail end of this pack. It's just not enough for the time being, and with only a handful of laps to go. If you're Team LSRTV, you are trying to push him, like I said, that being Devin West, out to a comfortable margin with only a handful of laps to go. Then you can start battling.
Close it in on under 30 laps to go now. 27 to be exact when they come to the line. By the way, Jeff Stabnow. Jason, listen to this statistic. You weren't even with us at the time. July 30th, 2020. That was the last time that Jeff Stabnow went to victory lane at Mossport. That's Canadian Tire Motorsports Park at Mossport, when he won the race on the road course on July 30th, 2020. That's how long the streak has been for Jeff Stabnow in a truck race, and now he falls back to third. Dan West Jr. helping son Devin up on the outside at a 2.
Yeah, and that would be such an amazing story for Jeff if he were able to win here tonight. I'm sure Team LSRTV wants to have him win this race, but obviously they want this race for themselves. Devin wants this race to cap out a great season. DWJ wants the same thing. We're just gonna have to see Ryan Bloom closing in just a little bit last time around, back down to under almost 2 seconds.
Big picture, got to think of the big picture here. And 25 laps to go when they come back to the line. Next time around, it'll be triple digits on the scoreboard. 200 miles completed in this race when they come back to the line. Still 25 laps to go. 50 miles remain from the championship to the winner of this event. Devin West. There's Ryan Bloom. There are the drivers for the championship. The battle, the war, down to 25 to go as they come to the line with Devin West out in front on turn 4.
Down the line now, here we go, just 25 laps to go, and it's been all Devin West. But I mean, look at this, here comes his father, BWJ, outside looking in, trying to get around him, maybe trying to just give him another push. Jeff Stabnow seemingly has kind of faded just a little bit here late in the going, but they have a good gap over Ryan Bloom. Ritter's into the pits, though, this time.
Could that be an undercut?
I don't think it's an undercut, maybe. I mean, it's a possibility, but I just don't think so. I think Ritter's just too far back. I think he's probably just wanted to come in and take some tires, maybe had a set left in. Maybe this is a strategy possibly, but definitely not one that I think would work out.
Yeah, definitely Ritter's at one time up under the top 5 and then fell back now, 1 lap down, maybe more. As right now, Nichols a lap down, first truck on the lead lap. or at least a lap down. If the caution was to come out, we get the free pass. Brightsman and that 46 machine is currently on the lead lap in 10th. Under 25 to go now. 23 remaining when they come to the line. Devin West, Dan West Jr., Jeff Stabnow, Ryan Bloom starting at one time to reel in these guys, but actually he's kind of fell off a little bit in the last couple of laps, Jason.
It's falling out just a little bit right now, but I mean, one caution and he is right back into this thing.
That's right, that's right. And there has been cautions throughout the race, as right now we close in on lap number 103 of 125, 22 to go for the finish of this race. There's Alstat, there's West. I'm sorry, there's Kevin Smith and John Odenbacher. This is for 5th and 6th on the racetrack now. Odenbacher at one time up into the front with the pack, and then he fell back, Jason. Kevin Smith starting to get faster, but he's running out of time. Eight seconds back with closing in on 20 to go at the line.
Yeah, definitely running out of time here, Wesley. We're just going to see what happens to this 00 machine, but it's been a great season for Kevin Smith, even if it doesn't come down to a championship, probably. I mean, he's just had such a great season, obviously. It's unfortunate, but you know what, though? I mean, you got to think bigger picture Kevin Smith. He was really good this season, traveled a lot here in this series, you know, within, you know, going from the bottom all the way up to the top. I mean, he was grabbing a lot of poles, had a lot of misfortunes. The same thing with the Wednesday series. I think next year he's going to come back probably better than ever.
Will be fun to see what type of storylines he provides, no doubt about it. And look at this, Jason. We're seeing people pit. I'm wondering if they're going to have to pit again, Jason. I really am wondering this.
Yeah, I think they might actually have to pit possibly. We're just going to have to see what happens. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, 3 sets of tires. They've already pitted 3 times. I wonder if these guys only pitted for fuel once. They might still actually have a set of tires coming in.
Nichols, Campbell, Paulison, Ritters, as you saw, Harris, all coming down to the pit lane. Only putting down 8 trucks on the lead lap. That's it. 20 laps to go now here at Auto Club for the race for the championship. And how about it with son and father? 1 and 2 on the speedway, man. What a great storyline for them as well. And they're pitting. I knew it. They're going to have to pit, Jason. This is the money stop right here, and you can't mess up.
You cannot mess up. I thought Ryan Bloom was going to try something. Oh, Kevin Smith in the back.
Whoa!
Tried getting the pit road hot. I believe he might have been speeding coming in there. Looks like he's going to be safe, but Ryan Bloom trying the strategy of staying out just a little bit. Got just close enough. I think if this 25 pits right here, he might be in really good shape possibly, but I think he's going to have to pit this time. DWJ overshoots his box.
Wow. Jason, Ryan Bloom, oh my God, he's still overshooting his box 1, 2, 3 times now. Here comes Stabnow. Stabnow's out. He's in front of West. Jeff Stabnow beat Devin West out on pit road. Devin West has to give up the spot. He let him have it. Oh no. He let him have it. That's the champion. If he wins the race, it's for the championship. But Jason, here's something I just thought about. They pitted on lap number 74. Okay, 73, 74 was the last time they pitted. Ryan Bloom pitted on lap number 80. How much further can Bloom save to go to the finish of this race and pull a Hail Mary to win the championship?
I'm not too sure. I think if you were Ryan Bloom, if you knew that those guys had trouble coming into the pits, I mean, with DWJ obviously being so slow with his pit stop, he's out of the picture now. Devin West and obviously, you know, Jeff Stabnow, they were going at it coming off pit road. They were going a little bit slower than what you usually would. I think Ryan Bloom should have just came in. But I think that his strategy is pretty set in stone. I think that this 25 might try to go all the way. We just don't know. Yep. We're just going to have to watch.
I think the same thing. I believe that he is committed to somehow trying to go to the finish of this event. Can he get there? We'll see how it all shakes down to the end of this event. Closing in on 15 to go. This race has been an emotional roller coaster back and forth all night long to determine how it's all going to shake out for over 2 hours. And we're not done yet. Oh, and by the way, Jason, I don't want to say it, but man, a late race caution could come in here and totally throw a monkey wrench in the entire strategy of everything that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. You know, that's something that obviously you don't want to have happen. If you're Ryan Bloom, if you're the rest of this field, you just want to make sure that you can get to the end as quick as possible and make sure that nothing happens.
Devin West, Jeff Stabnow right there with each other. Jeff Stabnow cleared Devin West on pit road, and then he gave the spot back to the 5. He said, I'll let you have it. Big picture for the championship. Right now, Devin West and Jeff Stabnow just crossed the start line. 15 laps to go. Lap 111 on the board. And they are 34 seconds back to Ryan Bloom. Ryan Bloom is still the leader. He hasn't pitted yet, Jason. Last time he pitted was lap 80.
Yeah, and I mean, Ryan Bloom is just, like I said, hoping, I think, probably that he can go the distance, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think he's going to probably need a yellow flag or something possibly, but I just don't know if this strategy is going to work out for him.
Saving, but not at this point of the race. You've got to go all out. The strategy of who wants it more. At the line, 13 to go. There's the leader, Ryan Bloom. There's Nichols, lap machine. Correction, he's on the lead lap, but he will go a lap down whenever the leader passes him. And he's going after the 8. Breitzman is in second. Sean Breitzman, Jason, pitted on lap 87. Could he be the guy that could be the upset if something happens to Ryan Bloom? He runs out of time, out of tires, out of fuel. Can Sean Breitzman be the wild card to win the race and put Devin West as the champion as well? Team LSRTV, and there's a driver that we really haven't even talked about all night mostly here at Auto Club in the 46.
Yeah, it's going to come down obviously to probably a huge incident probably for this all to happen, but I mean, we just don't know. Obviously, will Ryan Bloom be able to make it on fuel? Is he staying out all the way? Sean Breitzman obviously trying this same exact strategy. What will he be able to do? I mean, we just don't know. That's the thing. We just have to sit back here, watch it, and call it as we see it right now. As you see them trying their hardest to get to this 25 machine.
5 trucks on the lead lap. That's it. Here comes Ritters trying to get his lap back away from teammate Ryan Bloom. So is also Dan West Jr. Audenbacher trying to get his lap back. And I'm telling you, Ryan Bloom is not going as fast as he's been. I think he's really trying to roll the dice here. There is a strategy in what he's doing. He can't do it. He can't do it. Ryan Bloom's on pit road. 10 laps to go here at Auto Club. He gives up the lead, and Bloom's on pit road. Sean Breitzman in 5 seconds will be the new leader. Sean Breitzman will go to the lead, and Devin West will be second with 10 to go at Auto Club. 20 miles remain from a race to a championship, Jason.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. I mean, it's unfortunate, obviously, for Ryan Bloom. He held out as long as he can, but, I mean, one caution, and he's right back in this thing. It's just such a heartbreaker. Ryan Bloom trying the strategy that he thought could work,
doesn't look like it's going to work out for him here tonight.
Brightsman is now the new leader. Oh, and by the way, we know a little thing or two about Sean Brightsman rolling the dice, taking the gamble, doing some crazy moves at the end of the year. This could be one of them for a former 2020 Northwest Cup Series champion. By the way, Sean Brightsman looking for win number 3 of the year if he pulls it off. He's got wins earlier this year, including Talladega back in August and July at Texas. Nine to go, Jason.
What a storybook season it would be, you know, for Devin West to be able to pick up this championship. I don't expect Sean Brightsman to probably make it all the way. We're going to have to see what happens with him. But Devin West, such a great ride, such a great season. Just think, had it not been for one top 5 more than his father, he wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Jason, I'll tell you this much. It was lap number 80 when Ryan Bloom last pitted, and he had to pit at lap 116. Sean Brightsman on lap 117. He's got 8 laps to go as the leader. He pitted on lap 87. It is going to be close. That's all I can say. He might be able to make it by a lap. That's all I would predict. We'll see.
He might be. But I think it's going to be awfully close. I just think that with him and Bloom pitting around the same lap time, I just don't know if it's going to work for Brightsman.
Well, you got to think. Ryan Bloom pitted on lap 80. Sean Brightsman pitted on lap 87. So how much more is in the tank at the home stretch for the 46 than what the 25 did not have? We'll see. Right now, and obviously if you're Sean Brightsman, Jason, he's slowing down. He's under 11 and a half seconds on the leader. Devin West now in second. There you see the interval. 11.3, 11.4. It was 13 seconds just a lap ago, Jason. So you can see Ryan Bloom is I'm sorry, you're seeing Sean Brightsman slow down, and obviously that is to conserve fuel.
Yeah, he's trying to save as much fuel as possible, and it's going to be so close. I mean, the gap is just now about to hit under 10 seconds for the driver of the 46. The question is, can he make it all the way? I mean, it's going to be so tight. This could be a classic Auto Club finish. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen here before, from wrecking coming to the line with a guy passing him from third to first in the last corner, to just guys running out of fuel, to switcheroos from Johnson and Harvick. So many great memories we're going to see here in 5 laps.
There is the championship now between Devin West and Jeff Stabnow. If Brightsman pulls off the track with less than 10 miles remaining, then this will be for the win and the championship. But right now, Devin West is doing all he needs to do to represent Team LSRTV and win the title. Remember the storyline. He literally had to thrash and make up to make the minimum amount of races needed for both Monday and Wednesday to run the championship. Then work changed the schedule on Wednesday. He had to bow out of the Wednesday championship, and he was full sail ahead to Monday's series title. 4 to go at the line. 8 miles remaining. Sean Brightsman still the leader by only 8 seconds, though. The margin is shrinking on the 46 to the 5.
Yeah, and I mean, Sean Brightsman is trying everything he can do to save enough fuel coming in. He is shutting off the engine, holding in the clutch, everything he can do to make it around this racetrack for these next 3 laps.
I just heard the engine cut off. You just heard it as well. I literally just heard it cut off. And then he fires it back up. He's trying all he can to coast around here and save. By the way, interval now 6 seconds. 6 seconds and shrinking. 6 miles to go. 3 laps remaining in Auto Club. Sean Brightsman trying to roll the dice. The interval is still shrinking on the 46 as they hit the back straightaway. He's still the leader.
Yeah, and Sean Brightson trying everything he can do. You can just see him wiggling that truck down the back straightaway, trying everything he can do, shutting off the engine.
He cut it off right there.
Yeah, cutting it off, turning off, hitting the clutch, trying everything. If Sean Brightson's able to pull this off, I cannot believe he is able to do this. He is trying everything from coasting all the way down the stretch. It is less than 3.5.
3.5 seconds remain. The interval between Brightsman and West. He's coasting and shutting off in the corners, killing the engine. Our cameraman, Charles, on perfection is catching it. You hear it go out and fade away, and here comes the cavalry behind him. Dan West Jr. is all the way back in 6th. There's son Devin. Jeff Stabnow giving the wingman to the 24 to the 5. It's 3 seconds now. Brightsman is the leader. Devin West, Jeff Stabnow, they're coming to the line. It all comes down to this. Fuel mileage.
He's out! He's out of fuel!
Championship. He's out of fuel. Sean Brightsman's on pit road. White flag, and Devin West is the leader. Jeff Stabnow, final time into turn number 1, Jason, for the season.
Final time. We got one guy trying to win a championship. We got to have one guy trying to win his first race in X amount of years. And down the back straightaway for the final time, it's all Team LSRTV at the front for the final time, entering 3.
Down into turn number 3, Devin West is the leader. He has got a big margin over Ryan Bloom into 3rd. Jeff Stabnow gives the push to the 5. He can't get it done. He'll give him the wingman spot. Devin West, winner and champion at Auto Club, and the 2023 Season 10 Northwest Truck Series champion, presented by CLICKIT RV and Auto Club. Devin West wins the championship. He wins the battle. He wins the war. And Jeff Stabnow gave the obligatory nod to help push him to the win in the championship. He could have got around him. He could have said, I want to win the race, but he thought about the big picture there, Jason. And Devin West has got it done in the 5.
What a job by this number 5 team all season long. Did such a great job to hang in there. And Jeff Stabnow, kudos to racing this 5 car very clean, obviously. He could have probably pulled out a line. I say Jeff probably could have won this race, but I know he probably wanted Devin to win this pretty badly. And you can just see right now, this 5 machine definitely deserves it. Remember, you talked about it, Wesley, all season long, ever since it happened. Couldn't do the Wednesday series. Decided to come over, do the Monday series. Look where he's at now.
Sean Brightsman, 2.5 miles shy, 3 miles shy actually, of needing the fuel to finish and win the race. Man, Devin West is the champion in the Northwest Truck Series of 2024. What will the 2024 season entail? 2023. And there's Jeff Stabnow. And I gotta say this man ain't won a race in the truck since 2020, Jason. How hungry was Jeff Stabnow? But I think he knew. Whenever I saw the 24 peel off pit road and he gave the 5 the nod to get in front of him, I knew right then and there it's big picture racing there. He wasn't thinking about himself. He wasn't thinking about the win of his own doing. He was thinking about Team LSRTV being the champion. And that's exactly what happens here at the end of the rainbow. Yeah, could the 5 have pulled away? Yeah, he didn't. Everything that needed to happen is for the team of its team. And Devin West is celebrating as the champion. Jeff Stabnow in that 2nd spot, pushing him around. Ryan Bloom just fell short at the end. Let's take a look at the final results of the year in Season 10 of the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV on LSRTV and CRN. Devin West is the winner. Jeff Stabnow again, the wingman to the 24 in 2nd. Ryan Bloom 3rd. Kevin Smith. Now here you go. Top 4 drivers all in the championship. John Annenbacher 5th. Dan West Jr. to come back and finish on the lead lap. Toby Ritters to finish in 7th, Jason. What a comeback for him. Robert Gamble, Gary Nichols, Stephen Paulison, all on the lead lap in your top 10.
Yeah, then you have the rest of the field, obviously, from 11th to 19th. Brightsman, last lap, tried to do it. Just wasn't enough. Frank Harris comes home 12th. Stephen Bartlett, 13th. Kynes, Tidra, Burke, Roy Grande, Joshua Cushman, and Scott Hutchinson rounds out your 19 truck field.
And by the way, Devin West was the number 4 seed to battle for the championship. Let's see one more time. Virginia811.com. Call before you dig. 5 cautions, that long green flag run to the finish. 15 green flag, caution laps, 15 caution laps of the total of 125. 115 were green, 10 or 15 under caution, my apologies. And then 110 under green, 12 lead changes is what I meant to say. And man, when it's all said and done at the end of 125 laps, it is Devin West, the winner, the champion. We'll grab the top 3. We'll grab the champion. It's all coming up. The final Press Box Motorsports podcast post-race wrap-up show of the year. This is iRacing on LSRTV and CRN. Shelton, Washington, number 5. Devin West, the Northwest Truck Series champion of 2023. Welcome back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. Season 10 in the books for the Northwest Truck Series. Presented by CLICKIT RV and Auto Club Speedway. Did not disappoint. Devin West is the winner and the champion. We'll grab a word from him. The enshrinement from Jeff Stabdown with the Northwest Racing Series. All forthcoming. First, let's grab the third place man of the race. Ryan Bloom, you did any and everything you could, man. You'll settle for second of the championship. You'll settle for third in this race. Your take of this this race had it all. It had its thrills and spills. It had strategy. It had cautions. It had the green flag runs. Oh, it had fuel survival. Your take of this race and obviously being third tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. Not much to say. Yeah, I felt like I was fighting the truck the whole night, just didn't quite get it right on in the pit adjustments. Dirty air was definitely a factor that first run, and kind of overloosed it. I think the second or third stop. I don't know. We had more cautions than I was expecting. So, and then I think Dan and I got into it, just kind of a racing deal. So that kind of put me in the back there, and had to fight my way up and. Just kind of fighting it all night, trying to get back up. Then I went off strategy, trying to do something different. But it was tough. Definitely had a good set. But yeah, that dirty air just kind of got me. Just tightened up a little too much there in the long run. And great job by Devin. Congrats to him on a great season in the championship. And one race is, one race shootout like that, it's tough. Anything can happen, but I don't think it's reflective on how good a year our team had in my year, and leading the league in wins was definitely an accomplishment for me. So I'm pretty happy with that. But third place finish. Would have liked to be a little better, but it is what it is.
And Ryan, obviously, congratulations on finishing third, man. I know you wanted that title so bad. You looked strong at one point, but hey, you were strong all season long. Just tell us how you feel like your overall season went, because you said it was great, but how do you feel like overall it was altogether?
Oh, it was probably exceeded my expectations. I wouldn't have guessed, 7 wins and, having the most wins in the series. Really consistent all year. Had a lot of speed, a lot of fun. Just nothing really negative I can say about it. It's second year in a row I finished runner-up, so that's kind of a bummer. Tough to swallow, but it's one race. It is what it is, and I gotta kind of sit back and kind of look at the whole season as a whole, and it was really a successful one. So I'll be back and hopefully stronger next year.
Yeah, he's exactly right. He was a runner-up to Tyler King, who won the championship last year in 2022. Ryan, I do got to ask you this question, though, man. It's not all darkness at the end of the tunnel. You'll be the runner-up of the championship race, and, of course, you still got a chance on Wednesday night to lock up a Northwest Fixed Series title as the only driver of the championship four in both series. What's your thoughts on that? And segue that into thanking your sponsors for the final time for the trucks as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Just caught up in this one race at the moment. I'd like to get at least one of these. I'd hate to be the only guy to go for 2. But yeah, looking forward to it. Kind of a little chance for redemption. Hopefully do a little better on strategy and just overall. Hopefully just will it a little better on Wednesday. But thanks for my sponsors, CLICKIT RV. It was great having them on board this year. Great to have them on the series. LSRTV, great job by you guys as always. And just want a special shout out for Sean and Jeff and all the time they put in and running this league. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and can't wait to get going next year. And after a little bit of break, of course, been a long season, but definitely come back next year and hopefully a little different outcome. I also want to thank my teammates. Big shout out to them. It was great with them, working with them all year, and then kind of got those 7 wins without them for sure. So big shout out to them.
Ryan Bloom at the end of the season with 28 starts. It'll count for 27 races, 7 wins, 9 poles, 17 top 5s, and 22 top 10s. He will be the runner-up to the championship in third place tonight here at Auto Club. Jeff Stabnow has not won a truck race since Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That was July of 2020. It's been a long time. He really was hungry to want to win, but Jeff Stabnow, I think you also looked at the big picture of things. Your take of Team LSRTV, where it's at right now, was winner champion, and of course your thoughts of being second tonight in the race.
First of all, I just want to say congratulations to the guys on Win Racing for just a fantastic year. I mean, these guys, they had us all year long, speed, and these guys put the work in. They put a ton of work in, and it showed. We were only able to get one guy into the championship four, and he's a heck of a wheelman, so we got the right guy in. He was able to pull it off, but hats off to Win Racing on a fantastic year. As far as me today, I was just a wingman today. Today was all about Devin, so I was just kind of there to help him any way I could, whether I needed to push him or help with strategy or anything like that. Dan and I were just there for Devin today, and he drove the wheels up. He didn't need us, but heck of a race. Happy to come in second and super excited for Devin, man. Just thrilled for Devin, and yeah, he deserves it, man. The guy can drive. He can really wheel this thing.
And Jeff, congratulations on finishing second there. Being the wingman, dude, we talked about it when we were talking on those closing laps. haven't had a win in quite some time here in the season. How do you feel like your expectations are going into the next year?
See what next year brings. I think the biggest thing is just lack of time, inability to put the time in. And if you look at what those guys over at Win Racing are doing, they're working. I'm not necessarily one of those guys that just jumps out there and has natural ability, can run a few laps and do well. I got to work at it. So for me, it usually just comes down to how much work I put in. Is barring some bad luck here or there, is usually where I finish. So. Next series, sure, I hope we carry over the momentum, but I'm sure we're going to have to work for it. I'm sure these guys over there at Win Racing got a pretty big chip on their shoulder right now and going to make us work real hard for it.
Yeah, final question. Segue this into thanking your sponsors, and, of course, you'll make the enshrinement to the champion and the race winner, Devin West, in a few moments as well. But what does it mean to go 3 years without a win, obviously, in these trucks and just be so close? I mean, listen, you could have, I wouldn't say turned Devin West, but I think you probably could have got around him. You literally showed, I think, your true character whenever you beat him off pit road and on the bottom of the apron before you got to the blend line, you gave him the nod and said, go past me, take this. What does that mean for you to see where Team LSRTV has developed? And obviously, how hungry are you to finally get back to victory lane after a 3-year, which will be a 4-year drought starting next season?
Honestly, Wesley, the only reason I know how long it's been since I last won is because you keep telling me. I'm competitive, man. I'm competitive. I want to win the race every time I jump out there. So, and I hope to get one next year. I don't know why I haven't won a race in 3 years. Probably just because the competition's so dang tough, right? We'll get there. It'll happen again. And, we've got a couple in the Xfinity car and a couple in the Cup car since then. So we'll put it together. It's just, it's hard, man. The competition's tough in these trucks. But I'm competitive, man. I don't even think about when the last one is. I'm just always thinking about when the next one's going to be. So, as far as the sponsors, man, first of all, want to start by thanking CLICKIT RV, Kevin and CLICKIT RV, man, for making this even possible with the sponsorship that they gave us this season, and in previous seasons too. So big shout out to them, man. They're just what a fantastic partner, CLICKIT RV. So I hope if anybody here is ever in the market for an RV that pays attention to Northwest Racing Series, they give them a call and see what they can do for them. Then for me, obviously, it's CRN. Wesley, you're a heck of an announcer, play-by-play. You do everything, and so it's always a pleasure to have CRN, which Community Radio Network there on the truck. And of course, being on Community Radio, being simulcast on Community Radio Network's awesome too. And can't thank you enough for that. LSRTV, you guys are just amazing, fantastic, the best broadcast channel, and all of iRacing. We're out here at 4K with just Wesley and Jason. You guys are fantastic on the mics. I'm doing the play-by-play, doing the color. So what a pleasure it is to be out there with LSRTV. And then last but not least, man, gotta thank the teammates, man. We do this just because we are all such good friends. It's fun to get out there and work with these guys. We had a blast out there, strategizing and trying to look at this race from every angle and figure out what we were going to do if this happened or that happened. We were lucky enough to hit on a good long run set early this time, and we had all kinds of strategies that we're working on, just having fun doing it, testing stuff out. So just a great team. Dan puts in so much work. Devin puts in a ton of work. Everything Sean does, just, between helping us with the sets and putting the league in. John's out there every week helping us out. Brett couldn't make it tonight, so we sure missed Brett out there tonight. But just thanks for a wonderful team. Thanks to all the drivers out there. And, most of all, congratulations to Devin on a fantastic season. And I think he deserved it.
John Brightsman again, along with Brett Johnson. Of course, the champion, Devin West, will mention as well. Sean Ottenbacher, Jeff Stabnow, all a part of Team LSRTV. And again, Jeff Stabnow tonight will finish in the number 2 spot. to end the season with, of course, no wins, 1 pole, 6 top 5s, and 16 top 10s for the driver out of Billings, Montana on the year. Let's go to victory lane and the champion, the driver, the number 5 out of Shelton, Washington. Devin, I look back at the beginning of the season, or at least probably a quarter of the way through. You were dealing with racing, you were dealing with school, you were dealing with real life. You were dealing with things that kind of put you behind the 8 ball. You had to thrash to make up the races minimum needed to be able to run for the championship for not only the Monday series, then the Wednesday series. Then you had to bow out of the Wednesday series because of work and commitments that you already had. And you put all your emphasis in the Monday program. You are the winner of the race. You are the champion. What does it feel to be here at the end of the rainbow and be your champion for the Northwest Truck Series of 2023 and Season 10? Devin West, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. It means a lot. I mean, my 3rd time here, been here twice before and got beat both times. So I know what it's like to be close. I know what it's like to be leading with 10 laps to go and not win it. I feel like I've been in a lot of spots. In the past I would have said that kind of sucked, but now I feel like that prepared me pretty well for this. And then tonight, just to kind of stay calm. Like Jeff said, all the praise in the world goes to Win Racing. Those guys had, all of us beat for, I don't know how long now. It's probably been a month or 2 at least. I had to get to this point without winning once in the playoffs. Pointed my way in, fought. I tried to lose it last week. Somehow still got here. I don't know, man. There's just so many things that could have gone wrong that didn't. And so to know that it all just was kind of meant to be for me, it just means a lot.
Devin, congratulations, buddy, on winning this title here tonight for sure. And I mean, we've talked about it, bad out of the Wednesday series came here, and now you're finding yourself in victory lane hosting this championship trophy at the end of the year, man. How would you rate your overall season?
I thought it was pretty good, man. And I know I won 2 in a row there in the summer, had 3 wins pretty early on. I feel like I got off to a rocket hot start. And then just kind of tailed off a little bit. Didn't have the time to put towards practice and bone setups, and like I said, just couldn't do much towards the practice side, and that really hurt me. These guys on Win Racing are putting in all the time they can, and you just can't compete unless you put in the effort. And then to go to the playoffs and not win once was kind of demoralizing. When I came to this race tonight, man, honestly, I wasn't saying I was defeated already, but I was prepared to lose. I knew it was gonna be difficult, and it was taking everything I had. Maybe some things to go my way to win. Unfortunately, brought the truck we needed to win. I felt like I was able to earn that. And so, it feels good. But the season on the whole was good. I mean, I hang out with people I enjoy hanging out with. Some of my best friends, and Jeff and Dad and Sean and John and Brett. I got the best team I could possibly have. So, even if I didn't win, it was a success.
I was actually going to ask that question, man. What did it mean to you? Not only to have your teammates like Stab now and others helping you along the way, but definitely to have your father, Dan West Jr., 2-time back-to-back champion in 2020 and 2021, pushing you, being right behind you, not trying to cut you off or him go to the lead. He gave you plenty of room. You gave him plenty of room. Just a lot of respect with everybody amongst the different age limits of Team LSRTV. Your thoughts on that? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I won this thing because of those guys, I mean, one thing that I had tonight that Kevin and Ryan weren't fortunate to have were teammates, right? People to push, I don't have anybody on my team competing against me in the championship. I had 4 guys show up tonight just to push me, and that's invaluable, right? I can't discount that, and that was, a big reason why I won tonight. But I also feel like I won this for them too, for the team, being the only guy on the team in the final 3 really. And so I think they knew that too, that if I won, that it was their win too, and so I think we just did everything we could to make that happen.
Well, it's all time now to make the enshrinement of the 2023 champion of the Northwest Truck Series, presented by CLICKIT RV for season number 10. One of the operators of the Northwest Racing Series, along with Sean Breitzman and Rocket Racing Media. Mr. Jeff Stab, now the floor is yours. What do you want to say to number 5?
Well, as we bring season 10 of the Northwest Truck Series to a close, we get to enshrine another first-time champion. So congratulations to Devin West, the Season 10 Open Series Truck Series champion of the Northwest. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it, Jeff. Like I said, thank you so much for what you do. Not only did you build me a set, but you pushed me all the way to the finish, so I appreciate it, man.
You earned it, man. Congratulations.
Jeff, in closing, what are some things that the fans, the audience, should be looking forward to possibly see come in season number 11?
To be honest with you, probably more of the same. We haven't really sat down and talked about it yet, right? We've just been trying to get through this one.
Oh, wow.
We'll probably take a month or so off, and then we'll start having some conversations about what we want to do. We'll send out the annual survey that we send out to all the Northwest drivers and kind of get their input on some things, and then we'll start putting next season together. And as soon as we have something, we'll make some announcements on LSRTV. One thing I know they can look forward to is hearing your voice again next season.
Yes, for the 5th year. Been doing this a long time, for sure. And, of course, thanks again to Charles Wood and everything he does behind the scenes in the broadcast. It would not be done without him. Jason Rockefeller, thank you, buddy. I know we had some people that were comers and goers and, other things changed stuff, or they just wasn't committed, per se, to the full-time dedication like these iRacing drivers do, that I do, that you do, since you've been at the helm, and I sincerely appreciate that, buddy. I'll let you give your final thoughts, man, as we wrap up season 10 tonight and get ready for next year. Have a Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and as fast as the season started, it's gone and done. Season 11 will be here before you know it as well. Jason, your final thoughts, buddy.
Absolutely love this season, man. Love this series. Love calling it over here on LSRTV. Looking forward to next season for sure.
It's been a fun time. It's been a fun time, and we again thank you all so much for joining us for the virtual ride on the best simulation of virtual racing in the world, iRacing, along the way on the Community Radio Network and, of course, on LSRTV, your home for sim racing. Fret not, there'll be a lot of things coming up to keep you entertained diversion-wise throughout the winter months. Of course, follow the LSRTV, iRacing, and CRN social media for all of the details and information. For Rocket Racing Media and LSRTV CRN, for Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow with the Northwest Racing Series, for Charles Wooten in the production box, for Jason Rockefeller, and all of the other previous commentators we've had all year long. This is Wesley Outland, the voice of the Northwest Racing Series, congratulating another fraternity champion in the Northwest world, Shelton Washington, Devin West, champion of the trucks by winning tonight at Auto Club Speedway. We'll crown the fixed setup champion Wednesday. We hope you tune in. We'll see you next year.